It's time now for Countywide, a special presentation of Yavapai Broadcasting News. Join Paul David and Kyle Benedict as they talk with our community's leaders, newsmakers, and people in the know. You'll hear about the hot topics that affect all our lives in Yavapai County. And now here's today's Countywide.
Hello and welcome to Countywide. I'm Paul David. As always, it's great to have you in studio with us today. Al Cornell joins us with the Yavapai County Sheriff's Search and Rescue. He's a volunteer with them. Al comes in at least twice a year, gives us some tips on safe spring and summer hiking. Then we have you back usually in the fall to talk fall and winter hiking and outdoor. Welcome back, Al.
Thank you.
As always, great to see you. You can see Al's got his supply of things out here on the table that he takes with him whenever he goes out on a hike. We want to start today. We've had you in numerous times to talk about this, and we kind of talk about the same things each time. And so today we're going to try to, I guess, bring up some different things we may not think about. And you came in this morning, and the first thing you said to me was, how do we prepare for, we've been sitting around all winter. Although it's been a very mild winter, I have definitely been sitting around all winter doing nothing. How do we prepare for spring and summer hiking and camping and fishing and, you know, all those outdoor activities that we do?
Yeah, that's one of the mistakes a lot of people make when the weather gets really good. They're not really prepared to go out on hot days. And the weather starts, right now it's very modest. You go out hiking now, you better be prepared still for cold nights. If you get lost, make sure you have something with you to take care of you at the night and be able to have a fire and things like that. But as you get into the hot days, it can be very damaging. So I suggest acclimating. When the heat starts, go out on hot hikes. The Army has a program, the first day you do an hour in the morning, hour afternoon, and do a hot hike. Next day, maybe an hour and a half, morning and afternoon. And after about 4 or 5 days of that, you're pretty well acclimated.
That's all it takes, it's just a few days?
Yeah, 4 to 5 days and you're pretty well acclimated to hike in hot weather, yes. Okay. But you need that. You go out on a hot hike without being prepared, you're really asking for trouble.
What kind of trouble?
Heat exhaustion, you go into it quickly. You're just not used to sweating as readily, and that, you know, your sweat glands sometimes are almost dormant unless you're a very active person in the wintertime physically. So you need to get out, and the use of water becomes more efficient in your body as you acclimate. You drink a liter of water, your body uses it more efficiently because you're acclimated. It's a very good policy to acclimate. And the other thing is get your pack ready. You know, go through your pack and say, all right, what do I need in here for the summer? Do I have something that I can lay over me and make a shade shelter if I have a problem out there? Or I'm hiking with someone and they fall and break an ankle. Can I set up a shade shelter for them while we're waiting for help to come in? Do I have enough of the other kind of things that you need?
Temperatures. Let's talk temperatures. You mentioned that right now it's, well, you know what, I think it's kind of year-round it's like that, even in the summertime where people come and visit. I mean, most of the locals know this, but like I left my house this morning, it was 29 degrees there. I get down here and it's 43. Big temperature change. And that happens during the day too. We see that happen where all of a sudden it's very cold, you get this spike of warmth, but it spikes right back down very quickly, and I think that catches a lot of people off guard.
I would say probably more than half of our searches are people who go out in t-shirts and shorts in the middle of the day, very nice day, 75 degrees, and then that night it's 35 or 45, and they're still in a t-shirt and shorts at 5 or 10 mile an hour wind, and you're really in trouble. And it's surprising how often that happens, how cavalier people are, thinking they're going to go out for a nice walk, and then the nice walk leads them into, well, let's go look at this and look at that. They leave the trail, and then they forget where the trail was, and next thing you know, or you hope they're calling 911 soon. A lot of times they don't call 911 until it's starting to get dark and that temperature plummets right at sunset. Then they're on 911 really looking for help.
Have you ever asked them that point too, why they wait until it gets dark? Is that the moment where fear starts to set in, is the darkness?
Yeah, up until that point, a lot of them are trying to find their way out, and they're embarrassed by the situation, and some people mistakenly think they may be charged for the search.
Oh.
And so they delay the call. And then all of a sudden they're shivering and they realize, I don't care how much it costs, I want to get out of here with whatever help I can get.
Sure.
And then they call. But there is no charge for search and rescue in Arizona. It's
what temperature is hypothermia? Because most people, I think, would think it's
question.
32 degrees, but that's not freezing, is it?
The most hypothermia cases occur between 40 and 50. And you say, well, how can that be? These are the people that are hiking in T-shirts and shorts. And they're going out in 75, 80 degrees, and now it's 45. And they've just got a T-shirt on. And if they don't have a lot of excess body fat or anything, they get cold very quickly. And it's what's another ironic statistic is the state that has the most hypothermia deaths per capita is Florida.
Oh.
How can that be? Well, people in Florida in December, January, February go out for an average hike in the afternoon. They're generally they're retired people, a little older than like me, and they're in T-shirts and shorts, and they can't handle a cold night. And there's times when a front will go through Florida, and you'll have temperatures in the 30s and even the high 20s. They even have freeze warnings in the northern half of Florida, Orlando up, there'll be freeze warnings. Mm-hmm. And so the per capita death toll is highest in Florida from hypothermia.
Oh, be darned.
Yeah. And even though we're in western dry states out here, in warmer states, 2/3 of all of our deaths in the forest in this area are hypothermia.
Oh.
Back east it's 80%. But here, 2/3 still. And
wow.
Of all the search and rescues I've been involved in where we've had to do a recovery, a body recovery, been more hypothermia than anything else.
Well, be darned.
Yeah, been some heat exhaustion deaths too, but been more hypothermia.
Huh, I would have never guessed that.
Yeah.
I would have never guessed that. Let's take our first break. When we come back, maybe we could talk about what clothes should we be wearing in spring and summer,
good.
and some of the things we should be bringing with us as
good
well.
idea. Yeah.
Al Cornell, volunteer with the Yavapai County Sheriff's Office Search and Rescue Institute today. I'm Paul David. We'll be back in just a couple minutes.
Every proper bear knows that the right fit means everything. Especially when it comes to car seats.
Oh, really? I just did what any bear would do.
So know for sure that your child is in the right car seat for their age and size.
I like it.
To learn more, visit safercar.gov/the right seat.
Oh, hello there.
Oh, where's that bear?
Listen to me. I am captain of the track team. And if I'm late...
She doesn't really think she's going to get out of here, does she?
Be nice. She's new.
Hello, is anyone there? Ugh!
Wow. Even from our standards, you look awful.
Oh, sweetie, what happened?
Me? My friend Becky got to talk to this super cute boy, and I tried to act like I wasn't jealous, but I so totally was. And then out of nowhere, this concrete barrier just popped up. Maybe it was a semi.
You mean you were driving?
Yeah. I mean, I know the whole eyes on the road thing, but this was a super important text. Maybe you have to know, Becky.
Texting? Great.
But it was only like 5 seconds, and I'm a really, really fast texter, so it wasn't even a big deal. Actually, has she texted me back yet? Wow, I get like no bars in this place. I wonder if they have Wi-Fi here.
Headaches and back pain are two of the top reasons people choose Mosing Chiropractic. Dr. Mosing also treats symptoms of numbness and tingling, as well as those injured in auto or work accidents. Dr. Mosing uses gentle chiropractic techniques, as well as electric muscle stim and cold laser therapies. Call Dr. Mosing today at 634-0733. No spine left behind at Mosing Chiropractic.
Welcome back to Countywide. YCSO Search and Rescue volunteer Al Cornell in studio today. We're talking about safe spring and summer hiking, camping, and whatever it is we're going to be doing outside because the weather is getting so nice. We were going to talk a little bit about clothing for the summertime. We have you come in the winter and we talk wool and polyurethane, but in the summertime, what is it that we should be wearing and some of the ideas you've got that kind of help out?
And wearing is the right word. First thing is you shouldn't go shirtless. And I'm out there in the woods and it's 105 degrees and I see people walking by me shirtless. You know. And sometimes the men think that because they're shirtless, they're going to stay cooler. And no, you want to wear a loose-fitting cotton shirt, and it will absorb the moisture off your body. it will evaporate that moisture, and the effectiveness of that is just probably 25 times more cooling than just the sweat pouring off your body.
Okay.
So it's just ridiculous to be shirtless out there. Nice and loose fitting, because especially on a real hot day, temperatures about 105 and above, actually light winds or winds will actually add heat to your body, because you're walking around at 98 degrees and there's this 105-degree wind on you. You're like in a convection oven. So loose fitting will trap air off your body in the shirt, and then if the shirt's wet, it will still evaporate, but yeah, that's why on real hot days, I'll carry a wet t-shirt. This is a cotton shirt, and I just dampen it and put it in a quart or one of these gallon Ziplocs. And if I don't need it, I don't need it. But if I'm starting to feel really, really, really hot, I'll take my shirts off and I'll put this on, and it's stunning what it will do for you. It's stunning how it'll cool you down. And that's what I need. I'll need a cooling down, because I don't want to go into heat exhaustion.
Okay.
And this is sort of like this is my last line of defense. I always hydrate before I hike. Always. I'm ready to go to the trailhead. I drink at least 1 liter of water before I show up.
Okay.
And that's like carrying 1 liter of water inside my body. Then I carry water that I need for the hike plus extra, and you'd be surprised how often I give away the extra on hikes to people I run into that have no water or run out.
I imagine you probably burn through the water pretty fast too.
Yeah,
in the summertime.
Yeah, in
spring and summer.
A hike where I go through lunch into the afternoon and come back easily will burn through 4 liters of water while I'm out there. So I pre-hydrate 1 liter, and then I take 4 liters with me. And sometimes if I can stick my fist in my pack, I stick another bottle in there, a smaller bottle, and just as an emergency. And I generally have another liter in the car as an emergency when I get back. And one time I did run out. I got about a mile from the car. I had exhausted everything, and I had 1 liter in the car when I got there. So that was very nice.
You were good to go then.
Yeah.
Hats are probably a good idea.
Yeah, boonie hats. I had like this one here, just something that cover your ears and everything. And if I have pretty good supply of water, or I encounter any water, I'll soak my hat in it now and then put it back on, and that's very comforting. And then I wear UV shirts. This is a UV shirt. UV is an interesting phenomena. UV rays can penetrate cotton.
Okay.
Yes. Unless you have a shirt that's above, they have these ratings, SPF ratings, above 93, UV rays will actually penetrate the fibers, go through the fibers into your skin. So UV shirts are great, loose-fitting UV shirts, and yeah, they're the way to go.
A couple of things in your pockets, maybe every time you head out. I know you've got what looks like quite a bit of stuff, but it's very lightweight, and you showed me it all fits into one little backpack.
Yeah.
But if there were, let's say, 3 things on this table that you would not leave home without if you were going on a hike, which 3 things would you take with you?
Okay.
And you're limited to 3, Al. Just 3
things. Okay. I would take some way to start a fire in any event.
A lighter.
Yeah.
A lighter.
And I would carry 2.
2.
There's an old saying in survival: if you have 1, you have none. If you have 2, you have 1.
Okay.
I would carry 2 lighters. I would carry garbage bags. I carry 2 garbage bags all the time, and it's wonderful what you can do with these. You can rig them up. You can wear them if you get an unexpected thunderstorm. You can put one on and put debris in the other and lay on top of it if you need to, make a shade shelter. And boy, the third thing, in my case, it would probably be some cordage.
Okay.
Yeah. If you have cordage, you're going to need a knife. So really,
you want 4?
things.
Do you want 4 things?
But if I don't have 4, people that do this, we can make knives out of rocks. And there's a way to make cutting edges out of rocks quite easily.
This is true. There's plenty of jagged rocks in Arizona that you could run cord across and cut things with.
Yes, yes. But if I did not have that ability, then a knife would be nice to have too. A knife, a lighter, some lighters, something to protect yourself with for the sun. And then, of course, I always carry a small first aid kit. This is my first aid kit. It's just in a little soap dish. And it's got tweezers for the, you know, the spiny
Needles
things out there and stuff like that.
Small flashlight, probably
Yeah.
a good idea. Your cell phone fully charged. I know we talk about that all the time.
Yeah, I carry a light like this. It's just a flashlight in this little jar with 6 small batteries, so I can really run it all night if I needed to. And that's nice. I have always carry a whistle, always carry a mirror. If you get really in extremis and you can signal an aircraft, they will report your signaling.
Okay.
They may not be able to help you. They probably can't help you. But if you're flashing at them, they will call flight following and say, hey, we got a mirror flash off of this hilltop. And they will report it to the county saying, hey, we got someone down there that's flashing a mirror at aircraft. Okay. Which means someone might be in trouble.
Let's do a quick do and don't before we take our next break. Okay, we got a few minutes before we have to do that. Recently, we had a case where a couple hiked up on Bell Rock and decided they were going to watch the sunset. They were in shorts and T-shirts. The sun set, and the scenario began. What went wrong there? What are the do's and don'ts there?
Well, they couldn't find their way down in the dark, obviously, and yeah, you got to get down. And my recommendation is be at the trailhead by dark. Yeah, I've seen people within 200-300 meters of the trailhead lost because it got dark on them before they could get there. And they're wandering around wondering, where did I park my car? Where's this trailhead? And in the dark, these trails kind of disappear. Some of the washes look like trails, and some of the trails look like washes, and it gets quite confusing. And that's a definite, get back to the trailhead by dark. Don't try to do a hike late in the afternoon to squeeze it in. We have a lot of that. People arrive here in the afternoon, well, let's get a quick hike in before we go eat. And they run out to a trailhead at 5 or 5:30. They're going to do an hour and come back. They go out and they don't, and then all of a sudden it's dark and they can't get back. And we have a number of those. And some of them, if we had not, if their cell phone had not worked, we would have brought them out dead, because some of them were. One was a lady, 55, from Kansas, walked out. She said, I was just going to do a 2-mile hike. So she hiked 2 miles, but 2 miles in our forest is not like walking 2 miles, you know, in Topeka, Kansas, where she was from. And so when she turned around and come back, it was dark, and she couldn't find her way back. And she was in shorts and a T-shirt, and the temperature went down to almost freezing that night. And it was a wonderful day. And she was by herself. No one knew she was there. That's the other thing. One of the deadly sins. She didn't tell anyone what she was doing. And she was about 200 meters from cell phone reception, meaning she was able to get it. If she'd been 200 meters in another direction from which she came, she would not have got a cell phone call out.
Close call.
And we'd have carried her out the next day.
Very close call.
Yeah.
How important is it to know the weather before you head out the door?
Extremely important in the wintertime, but I think it's important in the summertime too. You need to know how hot is it going to get. Is it going to be 95 or is it going to be 105? Big difference in what you carry with you in terms of amount of water. And there's no water out there. Don't count on having water out there. Don't follow these survival books that say, well, drink water out of a cactus. You're going to get rid of it a lot faster. Let me tell you. You go into diarrhea, and I have some friends that are desert people, and they'll tell you they wouldn't touch a cactus for water ever. And then the idea of a solar still. You know, I watched an experiment in which a solar still, 8 people built the still, and then by that night it had a third of a cup of water. So, no, you got to carry your water with you. Don't plan on finding it out there. Not in our country.
Let's take another break. YCSO Search and Rescue volunteer Al Cornell in studio today. I'm Paul David. We'll be back in just a couple minutes.
And we're out.
You got plans?
You bet. $50 million Americans struggle with hunger, but we can do something about it.
Excuse me.
What's going on?
Dinner. Please join me in helping put food on their tables. Together, we can feed America.
You guys keep going. I'm gonna get the plate.
Plates?
Find your local food bank at feedingamerica.org/hunger.
I'm a teacher. Let me tell you what I make. I make learning a privilege, not a chore. And frustration, a tool, not an obstacle. I make working hard seem easy and giving up impossible. I make an old subject feel like a fresh thought and unconventional methods common. I'm a teacher. I make more.
For those dealing with the daily struggles of caring for a loved one, we hear you. That's why AARP created a community with experts and other caregivers to help us better care for ourselves and the ones we love.
Welcome back to Countywide. We've got just a few minutes left of the program. We talked a lot about water and the clothing and some items you should take with you when you go hiking in the spring and summertime. Kyle Benedict wanted to know some good food ideas to carry with you. And
actually,
you're always so lightweight.
That's an excellent question, because if you go out there and hike all day long and you bring plenty of water and you're drinking, you could enter a condition called hyponatremia, which means you're going low on electrolytes. And all foods have some amount of sodium in them. I carry a little vial of food bars, and as long as you're eating something, you won't go into that condition. I like food bars with protein in them, or energy bars, you can call them. I'm very, pardon?
Have a few in your pocket.
You can do that.
Yeah.
Or in a little container like that I just make out of those iced tea things that that come in these things, iced tea packets. But I always carry an emergency one of these in every pack. And I'll bring an apple along, and maybe even a peanut butter sandwich or two. But you do need to eat, because you do need the electrolytes, and electrolytes are in everything. You'd be surprised how much sodium's in bread. Just have bread off the shelf. And I've been involved with 2 cases where people, the rescues involved people with hyponatremia. And one was a lady from back east, New York, and someone told her, "You're going to Arizona, no water, drink, drink, drink." And she drank all the way out here on the plane, got out here in the desert, and hadn't been eating anything or very much. And but I like, personally, the best thing I think are these very efficient food bars. They have protein in them, and they have things that give you energy and to keep you going. Yeah,
okay, we've got a minute left. 1 minute left. Al Cornell's favorite hike?
If the people are in good shape, Bear Mountain.
Okay.
Bear Mountain's a wonderful hike, wonderful views, a lot of interesting geology and flora going up and back. If I have house guests, I like to take them first on Doe Mountain, and if they can do Doe Mountain, then we'll do some other hikes even more. I like the Erie Trail that's over near Doe Mountain. I like the Coxcomb Trail in that area. There's a wonderful hike. Sherman Mountain, to me, is one of the best hikes, and it's not hiked very much by people, so I like it, because you may hike there 5 times and run into one person in one of 5 hikes. You know.
All right, these are all in Sedona, correct?
Yeah.
Sedona area.
Oh, yeah.
That's it, Al. We're done again already.
Okay, thank you.
Goes so fast, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
It does, yeah. Al Cornell, YCSO Search and Rescue Volunteer. I'm Paul David. That's today's show. We'll talk to you again next time.